Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Coco in the Sun podcast. I'm your host, Malika Critchlow. Very happy to be here today to see what the book reveals and if any revelations or inspirations come through during the episode. I don't know why, but I am uncomfortable sitting here today. I don't know if my daughter moved the table or the seats, or if it's just me. I can feel like it was more pushed forward. Like there's no space. So, anyways, here we are. So let's do the best that we can do. I don't really have many insights today, except that I do feel connected to the universe, and I feel good. Um, the dreams that I have been I don't know. It hasn't been a theme that I can share per se. It's more like super personal stuff about seems to be things that are coming in the future for me. Or maybe they've given me new dreams to dream for myself. Or I have given myself new dreams to dream for myself, some aspect of myself is letting me know, hey, you want this. Um, so that's kind of cool. I'm having, I think, less dreams the past 2 days. Less dreams. Um, at night, but I have like one or two, and they're kind of profound. Not at first, it seems so. The dreams to me, when you wake up in the morning, a lot of the times it feels like that wasn't a big deal. And then as the day progresses, I write it down. And then as the day progresses, I'm like, you know what? That is kind of a big deal. That's kind of a beautiful revelation, or yeah, something I would really value that I didn't think of at all. So yeah, really enjoying that. But I said, no real major insights. I understand we're still getting flares or whatever from the sun. But I'm feeling good, thank God. And just hoping to take time with myself and process whatever is processing as best as I can, you know, and being open to what is for me. So not trying to limit it, but seeing what is, you know, living in the moment, I feel good. I cannot tell a lie. I feel good today. Really happy to do the podcast. So I started again listening. I think I mentioned it last episode. Um, the Magdalene Revealed on Audible, because I had stopped because I thought it was just too personal. She's talking about her personal life, and I really wanted to know more about Mary Magdalene. But I have been continuing with it on Audible, and as I get through more and more chapters, I realize that she is talking about her own personal stuff, but in relation to verses in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene and her own understandings, or even possibilities of what it could have meant, um, etc. And she's mentioning pretty interesting books as well. We get the story of Tekla, Perpetua, the Pistis of Sophia. So even more things to go and research along the divine feminine. trail, I think that these stories are not just for the divine feminine, although they empower the feminine aspect and are really good for the divine feminine. But I think, they can help all people empower themselves, not just the feminine aspect. So that's kind of cool. It's really, what is the word? Why can't I never find the word I want to say in the moment? It's really a nice change to see such beautiful stories of love and empowerment through women that are not limited to what we've known before or the patriarchal definition of what being feminine is, right? What being a woman is. And I am really enjoying those stories. So I'm really happy I went back to listen to the Audible. But I always think like you receive things in the right time for you. So it probably was in the right time for me at that time, right? And so now it is because I have somewhat maybe moved along and managed to spiral, and I'm able to hear what she has to say. So yeah, but at that time I really just wanted the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which I did end up finding on YouTube, and I loved it. Also really just came to my attention the Gospel of the Beloved Companion, which appears to be more complete and is I think it's Mary Magdalene that's talking in that story. Beautiful, beautiful story as well. So I want to get that book. I don't know if I'm able to get in time to read it. Maybe I'll end up getting it after we finish the Mary Magdalene manuscript. But it seems like I'm heading down a Mary Magdalene road. That's what it seems like. Stop at me one moment. Hey guys, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, anyway, let's start. This is the last chapter of the book. The Hathor Material by Tom Kenyon. What was I saying though? I can't remember. I think I was mentioning the Gospel of the Beloved Companion. I remember. Sorry about that. I had to stop for a minute to go take care of something, and now I forgot. So let's just continue with our reading. This is the final chapter, chapter 13 of the Hathor Material by Tom Kenyon. The Unasked Question. That's the title. Okay. Our final topic is entitled The Unasked Question. Because when, I need my glasses, yeah. Our final topic is entitled The Unasked Question, because when moving through and exploring realms of consciousness and the potential of higher consciousness, you'll find that the questions you ask determine the answers you receive. Because the answers are embedded in the questions themselves, it is crucial to ask the correct questions so that the answers of greatest benefit will reveal themselves to you. As we look at the evolutionary patterns of human beings, it appears obvious that most are involved with their own little world, their own desires, their own wishes, the fulfillment of their own personal fantasies. Each person seems to be striking out in his or her own, so to speak. Therefore, the question that most individuals ask is, what will I get out of this? Yo, I feel like this glasses is blurry. Oh, I don't know why I'm blurry. I have been listening to these sound bots I like the sound bots on YouTube. I think it's called chakra vibrations. So he has like, some of them are hour long and like major chakras, but then he has like specific ones for like the major and minor chakras together. They're also like an hour plus long, and I like those. I listened to one for your third eye the other day, and your crown chakra, and your heart chakra, and then another day it's in sacral and root. And I don't know, I feel like it helps. It feels good the next day, you know? So, let's see if these glasses are less blurry. Yes, a lot clearer. Okay, so in nearly every situation that presents itself, most people ask the question, what's in it for me? And so that is their primary filtering. A few humans have grown beyond this attitude, of course, which is encouraging. Yet the masses are still unconscious in many ways. While what's in it for me is appropriate for a certain level of evolution, it is too restrictive for the higher levels of consciousness presently within your grasp. Friends, the unasked question is a question whose answer will bring you the greatest freedom, the greatest acceleration of growth, the greatest expansion of awareness, and the greatest mastery of your own consciousness. The answer to some of life's deepest, most profound mysteries lie within this major question. The context for this question comes from the realization that one is part of an ongoing greater life experience. Life is living itself and presently expressing itself through multitudinous forms, including you. The tree, for example, has one primary life force moving through it that expresses through hundreds, even thousands of leaves. Although each leaf is important to the the tree is far beyond any of its individual leaves. Indeed, the consciousness of a leaf cannot hold the consciousness of the tree, since the tree is vaster than the leaf that hangs from one of its boughs or bows. And yet, paradoxically, at the deepest level of matter and consciousness, the tree is also embedded in the leaf as information. Trying to see, I could see clearly through this process. The vast number of neurons within your brains are interconnected, allowing the flows of information that may be viewed as multitudes of individual consciousness. For indeed, that is what they are. Each neuron holds its own awareness of itself and yet links with others. The linking with others is what creates the phenomenon of your consciousness. Your conscious awareness of the body. The individual neuron within your brain does not have an awareness of the vast complexity of which it is a part. This is true with you also. The multitudinous beings on this planet, be they human, plant, or animal, are all parts of a greater life. They're expressions of a greater mind, if you will. Yes, you are as neurons of the earth. Let me underline. Consequently, the question that most humans ask, what is in this for me? What is of value for me personally in any given situation, in any given encounter, only perpetuates answers which are by their nature very restrictive. By shifting the awareness of your own needs and desires to the unasked question, what can I do for the greater good in this situation? Your consciousness evolves. You see the context has radically shifted, hasn't it? For now, rather than being focused and constricted only in your own individual needs, you have deliberately chosen to extend yourself to the collective expression in its multiple forms. What can I do for the greater good in this situation? Okay. It has been said that if you wish to be loved, you must love, which is an aspect of the question we are discussing. If you wish to experience being loved, then extend the energy of love to someone else. In letting your love flow out to others through the law of magnetics and resonance, love will respond and return back to you. But you must extend yourself beyond your own tiny world of beliefs, reactions, and desires to use this wonderful law. Extending your awareness to assist others when possible, not at your own expense, but in a balanced, integrated way, allows your individual awareness to expand into the greater whole. This occurs when you become aware of what is expressing itself all around you and not just through you. It is as if an individual neuron within your brain were to transform itself and become aware of the totality of the galaxy of neurons within the entirety of the brain. This is a tremendous shift in focus and is what the unasked question will open for you if you begin to approach life in service to life. Living your life in service to life is a different context than living your life just for yourself. Living your life, for the expression of life as it moves through you and others, will lead you to make choices for yourself and others in your interactions with others. Choices that affirm life, expand life, cherish it, and all other beings are sacred. When one begins this process of moving into living one's life for the benefit of life itself, one has entered a greater sea of possibilities, a greater ocean of opportunity. Life becomes much richer, much more fulfilling, because one begins to see the interconnectedness of all things and the vast powers of consciousness that move through the universe. Once placed in its embrace, one sees, feels, and experiences one's own life as sacred, and all other lives as sacred too. Thus, although we have come to encourage and assist you, it is appropriate that we should leave you with a challenge. We challenge you to take this opportunity that you have right before you to live your life in service to life itself. This does not mean giving away your power to anyone else. This does not mean taking away. This does not mean taking care of anyone at your own expense. This means being aware of the interconnectedness of all things, honoring all beings, so that the motivation for one's actions become not merely self-interest, but interest in the greater good. As you continue to evolve and move up through the spiral of ascension, through the spiral of consciousness, your perspective of the collective good will change, for all things are relative to the state of consciousness through which you perceive it. It is a crucial concept. Do remember, please, that all things are relative to the state of consciousness through which they are perceived. So what might seem like a negative situation at one level of consciousness can actually be experienced as positive in another state of consciousness. Nothing is binding or absolute in the relative universe in which you live. The only thing which is absolute and unchanging is the deepest unmoving center of your own consciousness. As you begin to align yourself with the evolution of life itself, with the growth of life and consciousness, you will be lifted up in a way that you may not be able to imagine, for miracles occur. Opportunities open and your destiny is changed when you live in service to life. Why? The vibration changes all things in the twinkling of an eye. The past can be changed and the future open with possibilities beyond imagination. And so we challenge you to live and experiment just as many saints, teachers, masters have done previously and are currently doing. Try it for a few weeks and see what happens. When there is an opportunity to be kind to another human or animal, let your kindness show. When there is an opportunity to show compassion to another, be compassionate. When there is an opportunity to listen to someone, grant the grace and listen. Listen fully and deeply without wanting to impose your own views, your own agendas. As you listen to hear and receive the other, you will see your relationships being vastly and quickly transformed. There are miracles waiting for you when you ask the unasked question. What can I do here that will serve the greater good? What can I do here that will serve life's deepest purpose through me? Finally, we would say to you that you hold the keys to your own liberation, to your own enlightenment, and to your own upliftment. These keys are obtained through the power of your awareness, your ability to make choices, and the law of vibration and resonance. The law assures that whatever you resonate to will be revealed to you. If your consciousness resonates with the highest of the high, you will experience life in an exalted celestial way. If you experience your life through the vibration of conflict and greed and constricted awareness, then you will experience life as a kind of hell. All of these domains and realms exist simultaneously and can be activated by you at any moment. In fact, they are activated by you every moment of your life through the act of choice. While living your life in service to the greater life, to the evolution of consciousness as it expresses through you, you assure yourself a secure footing on the stairway that leads to the heavenly realms. Whatever choice you make, acknowledge your mastery and your freedom to express it. To those of you who have already chosen or who now choose to serve life on the growth of consciousness as it expresses through you and all beings, we welcome you as brothers and sisters on the journey. So be it. And now, once again, Virginia, we do invite you to ask your questions. Virginia, you've indicated that all things are relative to the state of consciousness through which they are perceived. What would be our highest state of consciousness to hold in relationship to you, the Hathors, as we receive information from you or other spiritual beings during this time of awakening? The Hathors. The highest state of consciousness through which we may be truly perceived as we understand it is the vibrational field that you call love. This is not an indiscriminate love. It is not loving without awareness of those things that are out of alignment, but uses discrimination as an important part of awareness. It is simply that from that vibratory place of love within yourself, you're able to perceive things more clearly in terms of their true nature, as opposed to what your senses are telling you. The physical senses are giving you one piece of information, but it's only a small sliver of what is occurring. However, if you come with an attitude and a vibrational feeling and sense of love, of interconnectedness, then you're more elevated in consciousness. From that elevated position, your intuition, gnosis, and understanding are much more immediate and clear. Thus, you can receive what is being offered, whether it is from us, other galactic civilizations, spiritual contracts, or from another human, with discernment and interpretation of the highest level. Virginia, you have another statement. Nothing is binding or absolute in the relative universe in which you live. Could you clarify whether there are absolutes outside or beyond the relative universe, and what you mean by relative universe? The Hathors. The absolute is actually embedded in and interpenetrates or permeates the relative universe. It holds the relative universe, but paradoxically has no one location of its own because it is in all locations at the same time. It is in the quantum field, to use the language of the sciences you now employ. The relative universe is everything that you know through your senses because everything that happens is in relationship to something else. Nothing is truly independent, everything is interrelated. For instance, if the trees and plants in the planet were to decide to go on strike and not produce oxygen, the human species and its many civilizations would not last very long. They would disappear. Life as you know it would be gone. So man, who arrogantly considers himself to be the pinnacle of nature, could actually be eliminated by the plant world if the plant were not to participate. Everything is interconnected. We are interrelated. Even other dimensions are interrelated. That is why what is happening on planet Earth is so crucial and important, and why observers are coming from other realms to follow the outcome. They come because what is happening on this planet right now has reverberation, reverberations interdimensionally and will affect other universes. So all things are fully interconnected. Virginia, how could what we do on Earth affect other universes? The Hathors. The ascension of a planet, which is basically what is happening in this situation, has tremendous repercussions because the octave shifts. It's as if you were listening to someone play the piano in the middle range of the keyboard. Then all of a sudden they go one octave higher, whereupon the music changes radically, and everything in relationship to it will also change. That is what is happening here. As Earth transits to a higher dimension, a higher frequency, everything in relationship to Earth, and that includes all the organisms, not just humans, is affected. Your solar system is affected, and through the law of resonance, the rest of the universe and even other dimensions are affected. So it is a very positive thing that is getting ready to happen. And it has much interest for those who understand the process and for those who have the means to get here to observe. Virginia, how do they get here to observe the Hathors? Interesting phenomena. Some of them make a shift in awareness and are able to hold time and space and actually send a part of their awareness to be present here, although they are not here physically. Other cultures and civilizations have discovered how to transport themselves by what you might call astral traveling, and they are here on the subtle realms, very physically present, but still in the subtle realms. Of course, there are some other civilizations who have mastered the ability to transfer themselves physically using what we would call a spaceship, although that term is not really accurate in the way it is generally conceived. But it is a physical device. However, there are other even more esoteric ways. So you have a wide variety of means to get here to this quadrant of the universe. Since the news has gone out that there is something significant happening on this arm of the Milky Way galaxy, much activity abounds. Virginia. In terms of the processes these beings used to be here, for whatever reason, are there dangers inherent for the human population in discerning in discerning who's who and what's what? How does a human being know who's friendly? If someone were to appear in a physical way, such as what we call a UFO, how can they protect themselves energetically when meeting such beings? The Hathors. Well, the energetics of this are extremely complex because when you have a being who has physically emerged into the third dimensional reality from another dimension, with or without a device, as opposed to just having their awareness here, you have a different vibratory field from your own, depending on the dimensions that they come from, their intentions, and so forth. It gets very complex. We therefore come back to this one piece of advice, and not because we are trying to simplify something that is extremely complex. We advise it because it is the best means of protection and because it is also the best means of elevating one's destiny. Our advice is to love, because love is the highest vibration, the fundamental octave, the fundamental tone that resonates throughout the entire universe and through all dimensions. This tone is the fabric that holds the worlds and atoms together. It holds and binds the interconnectedness of all things. This fundamental tone, this fundamental vibration, if you were to enter it, becomes impenetrable, becomes invincible, and you cannot be harmed by any occurrence. This vibratory field of love is like being enclosed in a field of light whose purity cannot be assaulted. We are not talking about love as most humans conceive it to be, but as a total vibration that is so powerful it resonates through all the subtle bodies and actually acts as a harmonic resonance. Within that loving harmonic resonance, you are shielded. If you wish to use that term, although that is not quite accurate because there's nothing to protect yourself from when you are in that love state. In that true deep vibration, you could meet any being from any quadrant, from the known and unknown universe, and be safe. So that is the goal for protecting oneself when meeting extraterrestrials. But it's far more important than this one application. Virginia, thank you. And are you saying that the people who were abducted and had experiences of ET negativity or difficulties over these past decades would not have been contacted if they had been in a state of love, the Hathors? The answer is not quite that simple. They might have been abducted, but they would not have been harmed. They could not have been harmed. Again, we are not saying that those who were abducted and had implants and or negative experiences did not have love. That is not what we are saying. In addition to possible karma, their harmonic was just not strong enough to protect them. The question is simply, how strong is your harmonic vibration? Virginia, is that why groups that are together in meditation create this higher harmonic? The Hathors. With two or more gather in love, there is a third power that is more powerful than the two, as you have been taught. Virginia, regarding the many channelers today who are bringing forth information, have you any comments regarding the kind of discernment we should use in accepting the information from beyond our own level of consciousness here? The Hathors. First of all, don't automatically assume that because the information is coming from a disincarnate being, one who is not embodied, that it is any wiser or has any more valuable information than what might be said to you by another human. Just because one does not have a body does not mean that one is wise. There are a lot of unconscious beings without bodies, and we have met many of them. Laughter. But in terms of discernment, we would say to use the two fundamental powers you have as a human. These are the power of the heart and the power of the mind, or what you call discernment. Don't unquestioningly take what is said as truth. Filter it through your heart and see how it feels to you. Sense if it is the truth. And after you filter it through your heart, use your logic and your capacity to reason to fathom it. Don't receive things passively by just accepting that the information is truth. Thoughtfully examine the information. Test its metal to see if it holds up, and then test it in your life and see if it works. This applies to everything we say. Virginia, related to that, there have been some disincarnate beings who say that we should receive implants to help us ascend. And there is a current controversy about whether this is advisable. Do you wish to speak to that? The Hathors. To receive something within oneself that is not harmoniously suited or part of one's being is not only superfluous, but it is possibly dangerous. You have within your being everything that is needed to ascend the spiral into the highest elevated states of consciousness. They are all within you in a seed form. There's nothing that needs to be added from outside. All that needs to be done is to cultivate the soil of your being so that the seeds can merge and give fruit. How? This is done through love, compassion, discernment, and reason. Virginia, thank you. One of the things that is confusing to us humans down here is all the conversation about the various realms, domains, and dimensions of consciousness which exist simultaneously. How can we help ourselves understand, while being in a body, how all of this works? I know this is a huge question, but it's very frustrating to many people. The Hathors. Our perspective is that consciousness expresses itself into and through matter, and that matter is then elevated by consciousness into life. That life becomes increasingly more complex and more elevated until finally you have a consciousness that can hold an awareness of self in relationship to nature. Then it holds a consciousness of relationship between itself and the force behind nature or within nature. And that is what you call God. For you, at this time, that step, the process of moving into these elevated states occurs through having a human form. We do not see this as a curse. We do not see this as a punishment. We see this as a tremendous opportunity for the expansion of consciousness in a unique way through the balancing of that which is timeless and formless with that which is bound in time and form. It is a unique dichotomy. The pressure between these two, the part of you which is timeless and that physical part of you in time, creates an alchemical flow of magnetism, and out of that flow, consciousness is elevated. Virginia, I remember you saying earlier that the Hathors came from another universe. In terms of what you just explained, how is that possible? The Hathors. Your three-dimensional universe is only one of many universes. Our origins are what might be termed non-physical, in that our universe is primarily one of energy, light, and sound. In our universe, of origin, matter, as you experience it here in the third dimensional world, is basically non-existent. The particles that make up your world are the particles that make up our world are extremely ephemeral, ephemeral by your standards. There is even less solidity in our universe than yours, and your world is about 99% space. That statement may seem odd to you, but universes are laid out in geometric configurations. From the perspective of hyperspace, it is as if each universe is confined within a kind of sphere or donut-like shape. These are laid out in rows or spirals, and it is possible to pop in and out of these different universes as one knows how. Your body can be located in three-dimensional space by identifying coordinates that place you somewhere on Earth's surface, longitude and latitude. Earth, in turn, can be located in the three-dimensional space in relation to the sun and other planets. It is also located in a specific region in the spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy. This is only one galaxy among thousands within your universe, and each of these galaxies has a three-dimensional spatial relationship to all other galaxies in your three-dimensional universe. Then, spatial location is crucial for determining where something or someone is located. This is not true for non-physical hyperspace. Location in non-physical realms is not done spatially, but through a refined attribute of consciousness that has a combination of both thought and feeling. In other words, if we want to make contact with someone, we do not need any spatial coordinates. We hold that person in thought and feel or sense ourselves in their presence. Through the laws of harmonic resonance, an aspect of our consciousness will find them. And you have this ability as well. It is merely a question of developing it. In regards to the interface between your universe and ours, we know of only two pathways. One can enter your three-dimensional world from non-physical hyperspace through a portal such as Sirius, or through the substratum of matter itself. If you enter into the substratum of space, time, and matter, you will make contact with an aspect of consciousness that is both omnipresent, meaning everywhere at once, and multidimensional, meaning expanded through all dimensions, not just the third. This process of making contact with the substratum of your universe, or what your physicists call the quantum field, is done through the agency of consciousness itself. If one knows how, one can enter in and go out of this world through micro portals. that hover around subatomic particles. This is not the pathway we used, however, to enter your universe. With a few exceptions, we entered your physical universe through the galactic portal of Sirius. Oh, Virginia. Some of our outstanding physicists believe that the universe is holographic. Is this your understanding? The Hathors. Yes, that is our view. Your science of holography is still in its infancy, and you have, as the saying goes, only scratched the surface. From our perspective, matter and energy are interchangeable, as your science has verified. Specifically, however, all matter is essentially trapped light or light lowered to a slower vibration. Holography has shown that you can create a three-dimensional image by photographing an image in a specific manner using a highly coherent beam of light called a laser. When you view the developed image on the other in the same angle as it was photographed, you get the appearance of three-dimensionality. We would like to suggest to you that this is exactly what happens to you every moment of your life. The physical world that you experience so substantially is a mirage created by the holographic nature of matter. Your consciousness is literally like a laser beam of coherent light. All that has happened here is that as humans, you have agreed to hold the lens of your consciousness so that you all see the same thing. However, you're not neurologically bound to the appearance of things. By changing how you hold the focus of consciousness, you can change how you perceive the world. This is not done through thought as you normally think of it, however. It is accomplished through the powerful alignment of awareness and intention. The two of these together can literally warp the fabric of space and time and present a very different world to be perceived. Wow. It is accomplished through a powerful alignment of awareness and intention. Your experience of both yourself and your world is created fundamentally by you at the deepest level of consciousness. At this profound level where mind and matter meet, the holographic nature of matter is expressed through your brain and nervous system. Thus, you experience the world as an objective, external, and substantial three-dimensional reality. In fact, your reality is anything but objective, external, substantial, or three-dimensional. These illusions are created and sustained by how you hold the focus of your awareness. This is a learned process that was taught to you unconsciously for the most part by your parents, teachers, and peers. As a learned habit of perception, it can be altered. This alteration of perception is crucial if you desire to directly experience what we are talking about. In this regard, you will find the exercises that we have given most helpful in that they gently train your nervous system to receive this hidden reality. As your science has verified, holograms have the unique quality of embedding information. For instance, if you take a hologram and cut the image into several pieces, each of these pieces will hold the entire image in minuscule, no matter how small you make the pieces. In holograms, in holograms, the whole is held within the part. Since the entire universe is holographic in nature, you are a part of it. You hold access to the entire holographic reality of your universe within your own body. And we might add, you have access to non-physical dimensions as well. Virginia, that's very lovely. Thank you. This brings me to my last question about living life in service to life. Please give us some healthy and practical ways to put living life in service to life into everyday practice. Every interaction you have with another being is an opportunity to serve life. When you stop to fill your car with gas, when you go to the grocery store, or when you see a fellow worker, it's an opportunity to be kind and concerned. If you are so rushed or so involved with your own affairs, however, that other people are merely objects, then you have missed one new moment of sacredness. You have missed an opportunity to survive. But when you are in these situations and you pause for just a moment, remembering that you are with another human sharing the sacred mystery of life, you have the opportunity to serve life. Indeed, if you pause and look another in the eye, or you simply acknowledge them in some way for being something more than an object, then you have served life. So every relationship is an opportunity. It's not just how much you say or do. It's an attitude that is held within your energy field. Simply hold the attitude that all persons you meet, whether you like them or not, are part of the great universe, because that is an accurate description. Indeed, if you truly hold that belief, that remembrance in yourself, then you are making something sacred or holy. The true meaning of holy goes back to the concept of wholeness. You make whole. So to make whole is to do holy work. The sacred task of unifying the great universe is awareness. The sacred task of unifying the great universe in awareness. This is done from human to human, or sometimes human to pets, animals, plants, and other life forms. Essentially, it's done from being to being. By acknowledging within yourself that each being you meet has value, you serve life. You may not know who they are, their history, or what they believe, but they are part of life, and so you acknowledge them. If you hold that intent in your energy field, love and acceptance get communicated to them, and that is serving life. Hold on, guys. I like to them. So if you acknowledge within yourself that each being you meet has value to serve life, then that intent in your energy field will afford love and acceptance to that person. It will be communicated to them. Wow. Virginia, beautiful. What a fine way to end the book. Do you have any final statement you would like to add, the Hathors? We would say in final closing that within you, the human, is a great mystery waiting to unfold itself and to bedazzle you. All that is needed is the touch of love. So love yourself, love others. It is that simple. So be it through all time and all space. We are your spiritual companions, the Hathors. And that's it. That's the end of the book. So that was chapter 13. We learned a lot about travel from non-physical to physical to our 3D realm. We learned to live life in service to life. And in doing so, what we do is we see all beings that we encounter as having value to life. We hold that intention that communicates love and acceptance to them. That's a great, I think the book was really good. So in our next podcast episode, I will be probably reviewing all the stuff that we learned. I don't know, I feel like I highlighted less in this book, but we'll see. And I think that's it for today. Hope everyone knows that they are loved and that they are loved and the world is better with them in it. All the contributions of love that they share with the world helps make it a better place. And I really like the chapter today about living your life in service to life, essentially. Being love. Anyways, hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you next podcast episode.